I had this on my website, Chronic Bronchitis, Asthma Causes and Cures, but it never occurred to me to put it on a video because I thought there was enough information out there. But in my new herbal holistic medicine group that I'm in, I'm discovering that thousands of people don't know how to get that information, and it frankly is a lot more complicated because I did it in 1998 with my mother and me. We were on antibiotics 4 or 5 times a year. We had chronic bronchitis. She had lung damage from working in the smelter when she was younger, and it didn't affect her until she was in her 90s. But the point is, the asthma, I mean, but the chronic bronchitis, it was from literally, like, we were all smokers. I'm 77. We grew up in an environment where our doctors and the heart specialists were all smokers. And our polluted environment in today's world and the polluted food. Anyway, I want to make this as brief as I can, but the diet is on my website. I will post that, but I'm just going to talk about the environment right now because it is most often ignored. Now here's when I finally was able to go outside without a gas mask and I could breathe. Not in the spring, mind you. That was in the summer. Spring is really bad, but here are some of the simple things that we have to watch for. That's a little too wide, you can't read that. But anyway, chronic bronchitis can be cured, and her asthma was controlled until the age of 97, and that's a whole other story because of clindamycin. I'm not going to talk about that. But first, with a few raw baby okra daily and the diet for disease control, which is on www.okra-dietforall.com, and a specific diet for seniors is on www.okra-diet-detox.com. And like I say, I will post that. Anyway, it's not just the diet. It includes an allergy section and ways to control the dust mites. But the environment is as important as diet. Because that means everything, everywhere you breathe. Doctors often do not deal with the reality of our toxic world. So at the time we were on antibiotics 5 times a year and our immune systems were damaged from it. I then researched with the help of the owner of Prevention magazine, who sent me an article on dust mites, which I included in my diet. I also included medical and allergy research that was successful without drugs. Now here are the basic causes: cigarettes, cigars, burning leaves, cooking on grills, fumes, fuel fumes from cooking without good ventilation, like propane and gas, traffic fumes, gas, oil, diesel being the worst because it stays low to the ground and it doesn't dissipate in the environment. Mold spores, leaking water anywhere, plumbing, walls, roof, attic and basements, air pollution, industrial, fumes, factories, smelters, lumber mills, dust and dust mites. That's everywhere. If you got carpeting, get rid of it for the most part, or unless it's washable. Cleaning chemicals, soaps, ammonia, hair products, bleach, and so-called air fresheners. Now I'm talking about toxic bleach that, these cleaners that you can, they cause cancer, but they also are a major cause of chronic bronchitis, and people don't know that. Chemical fumes and vapors, including perfumes. Work environment can be toxic. Cement walls untreated are toxic. Virus and bacteria, highly contagious, and we wind up getting this from children, especially in September when they return to school. Then they pass it along to their parents, friends, and grandparents. These bugs live 24 hours or more on doorknobs and everything people touch that you touch. Good idea is spray everything with white vinegar. Weeds, spring, summer, and fall. Natural environment can trigger chronic bronchitis. We had to do a radical life changes. Dancing in clean air conditioning halls are a must because it helps your lungs and your exercise. You need to do that. And that kept my mother alive and healthy till 97. We had to stop hanging out with people who smoke. It is on their clothes, and just being around them triggers an attack. Fumes. We threw out barbecuing grill and propane stove at the cottage, using electric for cooking, and no gas heaters or stoves in the house. Our furnace was gas and it was leaking because our furnace experts were too dumb to know that if there's not enough oxygen and air, the pilot light will backfire. Traffic has to be avoided unless you wear a gas mask, which I do, but also we took longer alternate routes with less traffic to avoid all diesel trucks, if possible, being the most toxic. Because there's no way to stop them from getting into your vehicle when you're driving unless you only run on inside air. And that's pretty difficult to do in winter. Otherwise, you can run it on inside air and air conditioning. But my mother also had a filter. Toyota has a filter. My Jeep does not. So I wear a gas mask. No walking in traffic or industry pollution. We walk daily in clean air and in an open park. No forest, narrow wilderness trails. If you're going to go on a trail, well, it should be in the winter. That's probably when it's less toxic, or in the heat in the summer, as long as there's no pollen and all that stuff around. And you have to watch the time of day too. Nature can be toxic, especially in spring because of the pollen and so on. And then there's black flies and mosquitoes and all that other stuff. So we switched to dancing instead. Threw out all cleaning supplies and switched to non-toxic supplies and changed the hair products to safe ammonia-free. All laundry was done in fragrance-free and baking soda. Spring, no walking outside anywhere, too toxic. Fall, hired a teenager to pick up leaves, stopped doing any outside work ourselves. We stopped hanging out with family children in September, as they usually got contagious virus spreading to us. Same with seniors groups we avoid during flu season. If working, we make sure our environment was free of fumes and well ventilated with modern air filtration. Bedroom is the most important. I also have that on my diet for disease control. Air filter in that room during the night. Dust mites. Get rid of carpeting, and where we could not, it was cleaned regularly with non-toxic water and baking soda. Vacuuming was done wearing a painter's mask from the hardware store. Mold. We checked everywhere and found a small roof leak and had it repaired. Any plumbing leaks were repaired. Basement. Only one old original 1934 section had mold from water leaking. To stop that, I had a patio built so rainwater would not get to that section. Then we had the cement wall cleaned and whitewashed. Never put a paneling over a cement wall that has leaks. Keep it well exposed and dry. We could not afford the $20,000 to rebuild that wall. If you rent and there is mold, move. Not worth fighting to get a landlord to fix. Just move and make sure the next apartment is safer. It is a lot of work, but we did cure our chronic bronchitis and never had to take any drugs for chronic bronchitis again. Mom did go on puffers for asthma at 97, triggered by the lung damage she sustained from working in the smelter and secondhand smoke. Personally, even though I was a smoker, I've been off cigarettes decades, but I am 77 and still have no bronchitis. So good luck, everybody, and God bless, over and out. And do some checking around. If you have carpeting, get rid of it. And dust mites can be controlled. We also got a dehumidifier. They really breed at anything above 45 degrees. And in humidity, high humidity, that's really bad. So have a dehumidifier. Okay, those are just some of the quick ways that you can control, and good luck. God bless.